Hey, welcome to the DBB channel, and today we have another MHA showcase. Alright, it's gonna be one for all versus Hawks. Now, one for all, the price of the card, especially on day one, it was like 300 yen each, and then in just a matter of a week, it actually jumped all the way to about $35, or 3,500 yen each. So it's actually pretty crazy, and today we're gonna really explore why the deck is actually pretty good. Because after playing it, I think the deck actually does run very smoothly and can reliably drop a lot of big bodies as well as the 5k Deku. So we're gonna see just the second turn for the left player here, as he does drop the All Might 2 cost, and the All Might 2 cost is basically the essential energy generator for this deck, because you just need to see 3 1/4 users in the drop zone as well as on the field. You do actually generate 2 energy like that, and it does act as a discard fodder as well, allowing you to drop all those 1/4 users which you don't really want it on the field already. And then you can see the 1 cost All Might here, which allows you to look at top 4, and then we do find the 1/4 flying user, which allows you to basically give active to your Deku, so basically they make them rush targets. Now with the second AP, is gonna drop the double energy Izuku, or rather Deku here, which basically is a 4k if you do have 3 or more 1/4 users, and counting at the drop zone and on the field, we do have already 4 users already, so the 5 cost, or rather the 5k Deku also reduced by 4 costs already. And the general idea of the deck is really to use the small bodies and to start poking on your opponent, making them, I have to answer those 4ks and the 3ks, and then you actually drop the 5ks, which basically back for more removals, and it's not easy to remove them because you're actually going to use an AP to remove them as well as to pressure against them. But however, the weakness of the deck is definitely the very early game, whereby it doesn't really have much bodies to push out. And we are against Hawks here, and Hawks is notorious for actually doing multiple attacks thanks to its nature of its ability. And we're going to see a prominence burn, basically the special to actually kill off the Deku already, and we do see him actually raiding to the total, shooting 1 damage, pushing into 6 already. They're gonna start swinging and only have All Might to guard against them. They do hit into a very fortunate color, and the color can actually rest the Red Riot here, because Red Riot can only be not destroyed for 1 turn, which basically cannot be bounced by special or basically UGs in general. But of course, it can be colored thanks to the nature of the yellow triggers. Now we do have only 4 hand size here for the left player here. Just going for the AP draw 1, and now having 5, he's gonna go for the Deku for the color, which allows him to actually use the Nana here to actually stand into rush, and of course the ability to when 1/4 does actually get retired here, he does draw 1. You're gonna go for that double Fox 100% Manchester Smash, killing off that 2 4k bodies that the right opponent actually used 2 finals for. So very unfortunate for him. And we're gonna swing with that 4k Izuku here into a live, hitting to 5, hitting to active, which is very unfortunate for him because it's the end of the attack phase, so nothing gonna be happening too much. And we do go for the AP draw 1, calling down the Hawk 0 cost in the back row, and it's actually gonna go for another prominence burn. So as you guys can see, the bodies of the Deku does actually demand to be special, and the idea is that when you do special them, the better bodies are going to start dropping already. I'm going to go for inherited power here, which basically look at top 4, pick up a 1/4 user or Deku, and you do restand the AP. So basically it's essentially free, and you do see the 8 cost Deku coming down, reduced by I believe 5 costs already. I'm going to see him actually dropping 2 Dekus, dropping a 5k and a 4k left and right. It doesn't seem, balance, if you ask me, to a certain extent, and that's also probably why the card is actually so expensive now, because of just how the deck really works. And we do see a 3rd special coming from the right player here, really killing off all the Dekus, and do see actually free the Deku here, so which allows him to go for the aggressive play, hitting to a draw trigger here with the 0 cost Red Riot hitting him, and then hitting to a Bakugo. Now the deck list we're going to share at the end of the video is a bit special, and I wouldn't really recommend to every players, because the idea of including some class A cards inside the deck really can break you very hard if you are not prepared. And we do see him actually going for 8 cost Deku and going for the Nana, restanding immediately. And if you guys don't really know, there's a Black Whip 1/4 user at the back row as well, which allows you to gain snipe to the Dekus. And the Deku with Snipe is such a menacing ability because Deku does have inbuilt Impact 1. So with a Snipe Impact 1, you are dealing damage to your opponent while removing their board, as we can see here. He does give the Black Whip, to the Deku, and the Deku is going to swing at the Todo, killing it off, hitting to 4, hitting to active trigger, and just going to pass the turn here. But we do have a bunch of 5k bodies on the left side, or rather a full 8 cards board on the left side, and only 3 cards on the right side, because the right side, the player is actually mainly just using specials to remove the bodies every single turn. And then this is why he doesn't actually have the board presence as well. We do see the 4th prominence burn here, killing off that 4th Deku possibly, but however we do still see a 5k Deku as well as a 4k Deku on the left side, which is pretty nuts. And we're going to go for the All Might here to just cycle through the deck, because we're going to see the 8 cost Deku as much as possible. We're going to go for that 2 AP to actually call the Bakugo in active, and Bakugo is going to swing immediately, or rather just going to give Impact 1 first to the left Deku. Impact 1 will go first, hitting to active trigger. This Impact 1 will go first, which is basically a 5k attacker, and he can't block it because it's only 5k. It's going to get just ready immediately to the Kirishima, but Kirishima does refresh from his power, so I don't think he actually gains any plus 3k, but however it doesn't really matter as he does push to 1 already. And with that 5k bodies as well as Bakugo on the field, this is a pretty dangerous situation for the right player, but he's going to go for it anyway as he does raid to Hawks, and Hawks is going to allow him to put up to 2 cards from his hand. He's going to put just 2 cards, okay, because he does left 1 more AP, so the 2 cards doesn't really matter, but he does raid into the Shoto, which allows him to freeze that 5k Deku, and it's going to be a 4 successful attacks here. And it's only possible to survive thanks to the 2 life that the left player have. Going to hit into active trigger here, and does decide to put it on the Dekus. He does put it on a 5k Deku so that it does actually get restanded in the start of the turn. The Hawks is going to swing, which allows him to put 1 card from the bottom to the hand, allowing him to restand that Todo. The Bakugo will immediately block because it does block off your future plays. And thanks to the active trigger, the 5k Deku does actually restand at the start of the turn, and it does have Impact 1, so it does actually pretty much ends the game here unless the opponent on the right does hit into a final. We do see him pushing up the Deku from the bottom, for the energy line, to the top, and they're going to go for the All Might again to actually look at for more potential 5k Dekus. Does hit into the Danger Sense here, which allows him to discard 1 because you do pick up 1 card. Discarding Danger Sense because it's not going to be very useful here. Let's go for the Deku, basically just for the cycle, hitting to the 5k Deku immediately from the top deck. Very nice. Let's go immediately play it down, replacing on the All Might into the Black Whip, using the Nana to restand it, and then of course using the last AP to actually go for the special, which get reduced by 1 for every 1 for a user. So if you have all 5 users on the field, it is basically just a 1 cost special. How balanced is that? Gonna go for the swing first, and it's gonna use the bodies to block, but the Impact 1 Deku will just end the game here, and that is why the deck is actually pretty good. Now this is the deck list that I've been using in this video itself, but do consider cutting out Class A cards, and of course this is the Hawks deck list if you guys are interested in as well. Thank you guys for watching till the end, and do consider subscribing, dropping a like and a comment if you guys do enjoy the content.